Hello, everybody, and welcome to Jester Talks with your host.
I'm Batman.
No, that's not it.
I'm Batman.
I don't think so.
And his name is John Cena. He's gonna get in the ring and put boots down.
With your host, Jester2504. Each week, I am joined by different guests, and we're going to talk about events happening in the world. You may not agree with me.
Well, excuse me, princess.
I may not agree with you. But either way, we're going to be alright.
Nothing is as big as mine.
Sit back, relax, hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. Hit that subscribe button if you don't like what you hear. Either way, let's do this. Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of Jester Talks. World events. Today, Drought of Luna is back with us. And then we also have a special guest in Fort Knox 112. Their information will be in chat right now. So if you want to go check out their channels, that's fine. I believe they're both hosting this channel right now. But if you would like to go check out their channels, that's awesome. They're both really cool guys. We are going to be running... we'll be talking over some different things this week. We're going to talk over should countries take care of people within their borders first before they take care of people outside. We're going to cover the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. We're going to talk about a couple of them. Nothing really in-depth, just like, hey, that's fucking cool. I don't know who that guy is. Stuff like that. We will be going over this week in history. And then we're going to go into some more worldwide issues. India this week outlawed marital sex with their minor wives. So if you're married to a minor. And then we're going to go into a new section this week, which we are going to call What the Fuck. We have a What the Fuck section, which using that as the section just demonetized us on YouTube. So, oops. We'll have to rethink that name for next week. Anyway, I'm going to bring my guests in at this time. We have Drought of Luna and Fort Knox. They're going to introduce themselves, tell a little bit about themselves, and then we're going to get going. So with me first is Drought of Luna. Luna, would you please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about yourself?
How's it going, everybody? Drought of Luna. Mostly stream Destiny and stuff like that. Just trying to help Jester out and, hopefully help him, do this thing.
Nice. All right, and then our other guest is Fort Knox, as I mentioned. Fort Knox, if you would like to please introduce yourself and then just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Fort Knox. Most of the people in the chat know me. A moderator and supportive creators, a variety streamer, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so first, you guys have already looked in the green room and all that fun stuff. You guys know what's going on. The first thing we're going to cover is welcome again, everyone. We're going to talk about mainly let me take this off. The video that I saw, or the news article that I wrote. We'll put all the news articles that we're going over. I'll put them in chat as we're going through it. So this is the one that we're using currently. All three of us have sourced our own news sources. We've all looked up the events and stuff that we're going to talk about on our own. This is just what I share with you guys and with the guests. It's just a basis. I go to CNN because they very often report the exact opposite of how I view on things. So I like to see how the other side views things. So I can view both sides and stuff like that. Anyway. So we're not just going to talk about Trump and Puerto Rico. That will be part of it. But the big thing is, should countries take care of their own, take care of those within their borders before looking out? And the way I got the idea for this story this week was A few days ago, my wife was letting me know that my son's daycare. My son is 3. My son's daycare. One of you guys has an echo. That's Fort Knox.
Probably me. Sorry about
Anyway,
that.
you're good. Anyway, she was letting me know that my son's daycare is doing a gold coin donation for a couple different events that are coming up. In New Zealand, a gold coin donation, you have a $1 coin and a $2 coin. Those are both donations. But she let me know that the donations were going to help. It's like a shoebox food drive or some shit for some not New Zealand country, like Africa or something like that. And so I asked her, I was like, oh, so you guys do the same shit that we do in America. So, like, in America, like, well, let's take, for instance, there's several instances, but my view is we all know Fall Ray, who is a friend within the community that I hang out in, and all that stuff. So, anyways, great dude, his amazing family, they were all basically, like, taken out because of Hurricane Harvey, all their homes, and his whole community, his mother, I think mother-in-law, or maybe actually his mom. Anyway, all of Houston, Hurricane Harvey, and then you have Florida was hit, and a bunch of other places were hit with other hurricanes. And yet, on the news, we're talking about why our president, or why America's fucked up for not offering more aid to other countries. I'm sorry, did we send FEMA and the military over to Houston to rebuild shit? Did we give the people of Houston, the city government of Houston, billions or millions of dollars to rebuild? No, the federal government didn't do anything. The state government might do something. So my thing is like that, and it's just like the food drives and stuff, like especially America, but in New Zealand, because New Zealand's different. Like in New Zealand, if you're homeless, it's actually a choice. Like there is no reason to be homeless because there's free housing and all kinds of stuff available. But so like in America, and as growing up in America and all that, it's, I feel, we should be taking care of the homeless in America first. You should be taking care of the hungry kids in America first. Be taking care of the abused kids in America first. The homeless vets. Like take care of Americans. If you're fucking Brangelina or who was it, Pitbull is super pissed that we're not offering more aid to Puerto Rico. If you're you're a millionaire, awesome. Fucking, if you want to support them, go support them. I'm not saying don't support them at all, but what I'm saying is take care of America first. If the children of today are tomorrow's future, we'll fucking take care of them. All right, that's my rant. Let's go Knox. This is your first time on the program. Let's hear your feelings on this, man.
I mean, I basically agree with you, man. I mean, I can see from both sides of the picture. Yeah, we've taken care of Puerto Rico for how long now? Like, isn't it considered a U.S. province still?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So we've taken care of them for how long? But I can understand worrying more about, your at home than your backyard. You know what I mean? But anyway, what were you going to say, Jester?
Haiti's the same way. So, and I'm not saying everyone should leave the country of Haiti, but Haiti gets decimated basically on a yearly basis from hurricanes. And every year we send tons of supplies and tons of people down there to help out. Now, the difference between this administration and the last administration hired people like related to that administration. I don't know who's hired this time, but what I'm saying is like we're doing all this help for other countries. Fall Rate, I know you're playing Destiny and currently streaming, so you're probably not in chat. But like, did you have a government dude show up and ask you fucking what they could do to help you? Did a National Guardsman come by and fucking make sure that your house is secure? When in case there was people looting or anything. Oh, Fall Rate is in chat. Fuck yeah, there we go. Fall Rate. Did you have a government dude come ask you what they could do? Oh, you did? Fuck you. You did. Nice. Okay, awesome.
Well,
but was it a federal government or was it your state? Because let me tell you this. As much shit as I'm going to talk about Texas in the future and all that stuff through football and basketball and just general, some states were fucking, state versus state stuff. Texas is fucking awesome as far as supporting the people that live there and supporting the military. It's awesome. Doc Bar, hello, oops. The Army was in here for. Okay, good, awesome, hell yeah. Army or was it National Guard? But yeah, U.S. Army, hell yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of shit that needs to happen. All right, Luna, you're being quiet.
Well, yeah. My whole stand on this whole thing is like, I have no problem with us. If a serious crisis like this happens, I have no problem with us going over there and helping. But we shouldn't have to go over there and basically re-show them how to live. You know, I mean, I actually just looked at a picture of, you know, the whole country still basically doesn't have power. They don't have anything. But at the same time, it's like, I understand, you know, we want to help, we want to do this, we want to do that. That's fine. Go over, send some people help, everything like that. But we're not going to stay over there forever. Why should we hold their hand through the whole thing? You know,
well,
I mean,
if you look on screen right now, you guys can read the 3 tweets that he put out. So, then this is what he's getting bagged for. So it says, Puerto Rico survived the hurricanes. Now a financial crisis looms, largely of their own making, says Cheryl Atkinson, which I don't know who that is. Again, I don't watch a lot of news. A total lack of accountability, say the governor. Electric and all the infrastructure was a disaster before the hurricanes. True. FEMA, yeah. Well, FEMA is a federal, that's a federal thing. That's awesome. They know tens of people nice. But what I'm saying is the federal government putting millions of dollars into Houston to rebuild your home. You know, as to where we're putting millions of dollars into Puerto Rico to rebuild their homes. You know, and this is, we cannot keep FEMA, the military and first responders who have been amazing under the most difficult circumstances in Puerto Rico forever. And if you go to the site that I posted, you'll actually watch this video, and the video is actually a governor and a CNN correspondent basically arguing. My point is, a fucking tent, really? Yeah, I mean, I think it was, I mean, you always see like the things about tent cities and stuff. I think that's like a short-term thing. I'm hoping they weren't like planning on it for it to be a long-term, but you never know. I mean, it is the government, either way. All right, final thoughts on this. For me, I understand looking beyond your borders to help people. I understand private citizens doing it. Like fucking, you know, when Haiti got hit really hard a few years ago and they redid the We Are the World thing and every proceed went from doing that to helping. Like, I fucking downloaded it from iTunes, you know? Just like Bungie. A lot of us here play Destiny or Halo, or we're big Bungie fans. Bungie does a thing where if you buy a certain pin from their store, the proceeds go towards, you know, well, right now there's like 4 different natural disasters they're covering, but it started this time with Hurricane Harvey. You know, and like when Nepal got, you know, rocked by that earthquake, they immediately had this awesome Bungie shirt that if you bought the shirt, it went towards, you know, helping that relief and stuff like that. I understand doing that kind of stuff, but what I'm saying is, as a government, when you have, you know, hell, above 0% is too many of your population starving and homeless. Like, you know, take care of your own. You know, and as far as, you know, again, this all stemmed from my wife telling me I had to donate money to go to this function for my 3-year-old's daycare. I think it's a dance. I think they call it a disco here. My bad, but they're having a dance for 3 and 4-year-olds. And a gold coin. But anyway, okay, my final thoughts is, yes, take care of yourself. I understand, or take care of your own. I understand looking beyond your borders, but for me, it's basically the same thing as saying, if my house is destroyed and my neighbor's house is destroyed, I'll help them, but I'm going to make sure my family's taken care of first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to make sure my family's safe, they have food, they have water, then look beyond my borders. Next, Luna, Knox, final thoughts on this one?
Go ahead, Knox.
Yeah, man, you're basically saying the exact same thing I would do. But I agree, man. You always take care of yourself first. I mean, I was always told you can't help someone else unless you can help yourselves. And think about it, the homeless veteran, like you were mentioning earlier, the homeless veteran rate in America. Last time I heard, Virginia was the only state in the United States that had 0% homeless veterans. Like, none of the homeless in Virginia are veterans. Which, that's awesome. Why can't more states be like that?
Yeah.
And they could if we stopped sending so much out and started keeping a little bit more of that in. But then again, it could also be achieved by moving money from certain budgets and stuff.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's pretty much my final thoughts.
Drow of Luna. Oh, thank you all for the host earlier, by the way. I was still getting ready and everything. There's no alerts. But Knox with that awesome 8-man host in Luna. You hosting me, just you, is a raid in itself. So thank you.
Yeah. My whole thing on this, on everything, on with the U.S. deciding that we are the governing country to go help everybody. My whole thing is I want to start seeing other countries actually freaking coming and helping us. Name one country, you know, Texas got hit, Florida got hit, a bunch of our states got basically destroyed.
How many people in France changed their profile picture to the American flag underneath? Pray for America.
How many people in any country, I don't care who it is, France, Europe, anything like that, anytime anything has happened, you see millions and millions of Americans banding together and going, we have to help them, we have to help them, we have to show our support, we have to this, we have to that. Name one country, name one that does that for America. And that's where my main issue is we're going to help everybody else, but not one is going to come help us.
That's because America's cultivating snowflakes who feel like they need to be sensitive to the needs of others and not be sensitive to the needs of, or be sensitive to the needs of themselves, and them changing their profile picture to the French flag over it makes them feel better.
I guess.
Yeah, they're all gun-toting country music fans.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna happen. No, and so my wife actually said that. She was like, look, she was like, every year, you know, like every like 5 years, I think New Zealand actually sinks like 2 feet or something into the further into the ocean. She was like, one day there's just gonna be a tsunami that just wipes us out. She was like, when that happens, the countries that are gonna help us are Australia, England, and America. And I was like, okay, but has your government, or my government now, I live under the government, I guess, has the New Zealand government sent any aid to America after being hit by all these hurricanes, or look at Superstorm Sandy, or any of that stuff? You know, she's like, no. And I was like, well, why? And she was like, well, because America doesn't need it. Well, America might not, but the fucking people that are affected might, you know?
America could use it. We're trillions of dollars in debt.
Yeah. China
I'm pretty sure America's like the
$1,000.
equivalent of, America's like the equivalent now of that guy who's out there begging for change on the street, but after he's done with his like 7 to 5 standing on the corner, goes and hops in a brand new BMW.
Yeah, right. All right, so now we're gonna move on to some a lighter thing. We're actually gonna watch the video that's on this next page. I'll make it full screen. Probably not full screen because my overlay will take up part of it. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about the rock and roll inductee class of 2017. We're gonna watch this cool little video real quick and the video preview, and then we're gonna talk about them for a little bit. It really won't be that long. People in chat, feel free to be like, you know, these people got robbed. These people, you know, I don't plan on covering all the nominations versus who got in. But if someone in chat would love, you know, first of all, there's the website that we're using for this. And if someone wants to talk about everyone that was nominated versus who got in, no worries about that at all. And then we'll also go with this one right here if you want, and this gives you the criteria of how they can get selected and stuff. So we'll watch this video real quick. Let me make sure it is. Yep, we're just gonna put it right there, not make it full screen.
And the reason for fighting, I never did get.
'Cause it's time and time with your time and this news is captured.
All right, so there's that. So let's real quick. I'm just gonna go over the list of people that were inducted. You got ELO, Joan Baez, Journey, Nile Rodgers, Pearl Jam, Tupac Shakur, and Yes. First of all, I want to say how fucked up it is that they use Journey, Neil Rodgers, Pearl Jam, and they're like popular songs. Tupac, Yes, Joan Baez, and ELO, they use like not their most popular song in the preview video. I know it doesn't matter. I just think it's kind of fucked up. All right, so people that I actually had to look up to find out who they were: Neil Rodgers, ELO. My bad. I didn't know who they were. I'm sorry. It's just how it happened. Other than that, my thoughts are, I think it's actually a pretty good class. I want to look up and see if this is Pearl Jam's first nomination, because if they are, then that's fucking awesome. They got it first time. Some people don't. I think Journey should have been added a long time ago. Journey is a group for me that should have made it probably the first year that they were eligible for nomination. I think it's fucking awesome that Tupac got in. I can understand why he got in because of what he did for hip hop and for rap as a genre and all that. I think we're gonna get more into that once the other two talk, so I'll save it for that. But let's hear your guys' thoughts, guys.
Go ahead, Luna. I've been going first.
My whole thing is I don't understand like why some of these people it took so freaking long. Like ELO, Journey. Why is it now? How many years after they've stopped performing and members have died or whatever, whatnot? That I mean, how many people are actually there to be at the induction ceremony?
Yeah, I mean, we're really late for this since the induction was March 31st, but for some reason it popped up again in worldwide news, so that's why it's on here.
But I mean, still, it's like there's a lot of bands that should be in the Hall of Fame that aren't in the Hall of Fame, and I just don't understand it. I don't know. None of that stuff makes sense. I mean, bands from the 70s, 80s. Here we are in 2017, and they're just barely getting in there. Bands that made epic changes to the world of music, to the way music is perceived, the way music is done, everything like that, and you're just barely recognizing them. It's ridiculous,
If you're talking about this class, though, I mean, there wasn't very many cutting edge, performers in here. Tupac for sure, yeah, like he came into it in the way he rapped and stuff, helped revolutionize the way we view hip hop nowadays, which has completely taken a left turn from what he had, kind of helped build it as. But nonetheless, like, and Pearl Jam, okay, they were a great band, right, Luna?
Yeah. But they shouldn't.
But what did
this had to have been the first year that they're eligible, because I think it's 25 years.
Yeah, it is. And I completely agree that they should be in there. But what did they do to revolutionize their industry, like their genre of music?
All right, let's go even better. We're gonna add to this. I found another one that we're gonna talk about.
You get what I'm saying, though, right?
Pearl Jam is that 90, like, so it's weird. So Pearl Jam has, so they fit the 90s rock like genre. But then they also, some of their songs are considered like the grungy shit too.
Yeah, and they were coming up during that time. So it's completely understandable, but...
So it's 25 years after the release of their first commercial recording, besides demonstrating unquestionable music excellence and talent. So, yeah. So obviously, Journey, just my personal feeling, been getting fucking flogged for a while on this shit. Like, they should have been in there.
Okay, here's something. Sorry to cut you off, Jester.
You're good.
Here's something. Why didn't the Cars get in?
Are they still not in?
No. Judas Priest.
I pulled up a few that didn't make it this year. Here, put that link in chat. Will you please?
Steppenwolf. None of them made it. They were all snubbed by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, basically told, well, you're not good enough. The Cars, they actually did a lot in their day and revolutionizing the way they did music, the way their, lyrics were, stuff like
Doc,
that.
I'm really
and,
sorry, man.
It's.
I had to look up the YOLO.
That's kind of ridiculous.
And once I heard their music though, I knew immediately. Like I was.
Here's my view on that, Luna. So, if I put everybody in this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that's eligible after 25 years, right? What makes it an achievement to get in there? At that point, don't you think it just becomes more of a boys' club?
Yeah,
I can understand them being selective, and don't get me wrong, I completely understand where you're coming from. Judas Priest, they should be in there. The Cars, they should be in there. There's a lot. Exactly.
The fuck?
Like
that song alone, right there, there should be.
Yeah, exactly.
That
exactly.
to me is ridiculous. Like these are epic bands of their era that did things great in their time. That they got told, "Oh no, you're not good enough." But freaking.
I mean, the J. Giles band will get in there. Judas Priest will get in there. They're all going to get in. They just got snubbed this year. First of all, I didn't see this list before. Otherwise, this is what we would be talking about. We would be talking about how fucking dumb this is. First of all, freeze frame, centerfold, love stinks. Like, what the fuck do you need to do to get in there? That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I can still sing all of those songs.
See, like Iron Maiden, they should be in there. Okay, or is it Iron Maiden?
Yeah,
no, it's
Iron
not. It's Iron Butterfly. Yeah, they should be in there. Iron Maiden should, but I'm thinking of Iron Butterfly. Like, that's what I think about whenever I think, people who revolutionized their genre of music. Iron Butterfly is In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. That was the very first quote-unquote acid rock song.
Yeah.
That's what headed off that genre. That's what brought in a whole different style of classic rock that we consider classic rock now. Like Head East, Three Dog Night, stuff like that, where it's real heavy in the synthesizers and that really they cultivated it.
No, Crafty. Iron Maiden was not. So Iron Maiden. So all right. So Cars was snubbed this year. Heavy metal. You've got Judas Priest didn't make it. Iron Maiden. And Ronnie James. Oh, excuse me. Dio. Steppenwolf, like Magic Carpet Ride. That's it. That's all you need is that one song. That one song, they should be in there. This has already been demonetized. I really want to play all these great songs that didn't get in there. Like, J. Giles Band is my second overall favorite 80s band. And we're going to talk about the first one because they're not my favorite band anymore because of the recent presidential election. But, anyway, here's 2018 nominees, and then we're going to move on. Bon Jovi. They've been eligible since 2008 and haven't made it in.
That's ridiculous.
What the fuck? Like, they have... Hey, Chua, how's it going?
Fucking decisions.
Oh, the chainsaw in the background? You guys can hear that? How loud is that? That's my neighbors. That dude is constantly fucking building something. He's probably cutting down trees to make his own wood to build a garage right now. How loud is that? Can you guys hear it? Like, really loud, Doc Bar? Yeah, we can hear it. Damn it. Alright, I'm just going to keep my mic.
That bad.
It's not that bad?
I can't hear it whenever I turn my volume up.
You can't?
You can hear it a little bit, but it's not that bad.
Okay, because I can hear it, and it's he's on it, right? I should turn the camera around. We can all watch him. Not too loud? Okay, cool. Alright, so Bon Jovi's my favorite band. It's just the way it works. I hate who they supported in the fucking thing, but... whatever. So, been eligible since 2008. They've only been nominated twice since they were eligible. Once was 2011, and then now in 2018. Like, what the fuck? Like, these guys are, like, iconic 80s. They had hits in the 90s. They had hits in the 2000s. Like, what the fuck do they need to do? Like, that's insane. My first tape ever. Bon Jovi, New Jersey. Or maybe it was Slippery When Wet.
You got to take into consideration, man, that probably a lot of people making these nominations and stuff are a little bit biased as well.
Yeah, no, I understand. So, Kate Bush, she's been eligible since 2003. I'm not really that worried about that. The Cars, though, they've been eligible since 2003. They've only been nominated 3 times. That is fucking absurd. Dire Straits, another fucking amazing band. This is their first nomination. They've been eligible for the last 14 years. The Eurythmics, I understand not being nominated. They could even not be nominated now because in America, they've had, 2 songs that people know? 1 hit song, probably, right? So, I understand that. But now, that in Europe, they were extremely popular.
I don't even know who the Eurythmics are.
Sweet Dreams Are Made of These.
There we go. All right.
All right, Jay Giles Band, again, they've been eligible since 1995. So they've been eligible for 10, 20, 22 years, 23 years? And they've only had 5 nominations. Hopefully they make it. Judas Priest has been eligible since 1999, and this is their first nomination. LL Cool J isn't in yet? Yeah, but LL Cool J was a good rapper and everything, but think about it. Like, did he do anything to change the face of his genre or music? Did he do anything that, like, really... No, he was really good. So I can understand waiting. You know, it's only been 9 years since he's been eligible. Like, compared to 27 years for people like the Jay Giles Band, or even longer. Where is it? You know,
you also don't see a lot of rappers get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I understand. And them catching a lot of flack is why on their things, on their induction stuff now, it says that it's not about the genre of music, it's about rock and roll as a mindset, or stuff like that.
Right.
I know all these artists. Doc Bar, Judas Priest, Jay Giles Band, those are like my fucking, like, I love those dudes. The Meters, I'm not gonna lie, I'll have to look them up. I don't know who they are. I know who the Moody Blues are. Radiohead, obviously. Rage Against the Machine. See, now look, Rage Against the Machine, first year not eligible. First year eligible, they're getting nominated, and I bet you they make it.
Jester.
Yeah.
Take a look at that link that I just posted in chat. It actually tells you how many times they've been no. Motorhead, 14 times they've been denied.
Nick Cave. I don't know who Nick Cave is, but okay. Slayer, snubbed 8 years. No, it's 8 years is that's just the number of times that they've been nominated and not got it. Not even, number of years snubbed, 22. Motorhead, 14.
Devo, 14. 14.
Come on.
14 times they've been told.
Good, man.
I mean, that's
insane. All right, let's go over the rest of these nominees. Rufus featuring Chaka Khan, Nina Simone, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Link Ray, and the Zombies. So, I guess we'll see who gets in there. I think I posted this. Did I post this? I'll post this in here though. This, if you guys want to go see the nominees, here's the link to the nominees. All right, now we're gonna go into this week in history. I'm gonna post this day in history. I'm not gonna lie, this took the longest for me to prepare because I literally went to every day this week, watched the little video, read everything, wrote it down. But that's because I like history. So I'm just gonna go over the things this week that I decided to share and that caught my eye. First of all, let's start with the 8th. Most importantly to me, because this dude served in the same army unit as me, is in 1918. Alvin York single-handedly, if you don't believe me, I'll play the video, killed 25 German soldiers and captured another 132 by himself. He was an 82nd Airborne paratrooper. He was a corporal at the time. All that got him in the army. I mean, he was later given, he got Medal of Honor, and he has, like, there's York Theater in Fort Bragg is named after him, and all that stuff. But all it got him was a promotion from corporal to sergeant. Nationally, he was a fucking hero and this huge fucking star. But in the Army, he got promoted from corporal to sergeant for it. I thought that was pretty funny. Also, on the 8th was the day that the Great Chicago Fire started in 1871. It was burned for 2 days. I believe it was like 100,000 people, or 10,000, 100,000, like that, displaced or out of a home. 2001, the Department of Homeland Security was created, and then, of course, you got to mention Miss Martha. In 2004, the 8th was the day that Martha Stewart went to jail. On the 9th, Che Guevara, was executed in 1967. The Washington Monument was opened to the public for the first time in 1888, and the obelisk was the tallest monument in the world until the Eiffel Tower beat it out a year later. And then in 1940, John Lennon was born on October 9th. The 10th Panama Canal was completed in 1913. It was the greatest engineering feat the world had seen at that point. I think it's still up there probably. Maybe not the greatest one, but it's still like top 5. And then in 1967, the Outer Space Treaty banned nuclear weapons in space, specifically launching from or exploding in. So you can't send a satellite up there with fucking 30 nuclear warheads that orbit the Earth, and you can't blow them up in space for testing or anything else because the electromagnetic pulse. Like, let's say, so if Russia or any other country that has nuclear capabilities were to blow a nuclear warhead, over the Midwest in space, the cone of the MP that would go down would wipe out American electronics, everything. The whole grid would go down. Which, if you're fighting us, would be a great idea. Hope there's no Russians watching this. All right, next.
Way to go, Jester.
Way to go. Just told you how to beat America. Leave New Zealand alone. That's where I live. All right. On the 11th...
Could we not drop the nuke over the Midwest? Because that's where I'm literally smack dead in the middle of the Midwest, man. Come on now.
You'll be okay, man.
Oh,
Just
sure.
You just come visit me in New Zealand. All right.
Okay.
So on the 11th, 1968, the first successful manned spacecraft, the first successful Apollo mission, basically, to space and return. No one died. 2002, Jimmy Carter wins the Nobel Peace Prize. So Jimmy Carter has been labeled by many, many, many people to be the greatest ex-president. He's done a shit ton of work since he left office. Had he done more while he was in office, he might be higher on the president ranking. You never know. The 12th... Anyone want to... Okay, real quick. In chat, if you're in my chat, if you can tell me, without looking up, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. If you can tell me the 12th, what the biggest event in history, the 12th of October, was, in 30 seconds from now, I will give you 10,000 push-ups, and if you're a streamer, I will give you a complete stream makeover for free. For graphics.
What was the question? I missed the question.
The biggest thing in history on the 12th of October. I can hear you typing. I can hear you typing. All right, time's up. On the 12th in 1492, Columbus landed in the New World. He discovered America. For those not watching, I used air quotes. What year?
How did you guys not know this? I had to mute myself to not blurt it out.
I had to mute myself. Anyway, and then in 2000, on the 12th, the USS Cole bombing took place. The 13th, in 1792, yes, I have it all written down. I'm reading it. In 1792, the first cornerstone of the White House was laid. And then in 1903, on the 13th, the Boston Americans defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates for the first ever championship in American baseball. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Very true. That's how I learned it, Doc Bar. And then in 1983, the very first cellular network launched on the 13th. If anyone, 30 seconds again. or 30 seconds. What city did it launch in? Moving on, and then you have yes, but is you gotta look at in 539 BC, the army of Cyrus the Great of Persia takes Babylon. That's pretty important. True. Oh, let me look at it over here first in case I'm wrong. I don't want to be wrong. All right, and then let's keep going. I didn't say that the Columbus discovering America was the most important. I just put that it was important. All right, and on the 14th, this day, Chuck Yeager, for those of you that know who that is, that's when he broke the sound barrier. In 1962, the U-2 spy planes went over Cuba, spotting Russian nuclear missiles being emplaced in Cuba, and so this was the beginning of the Cuban Missile Crisis. And in 1964, Martin Luther King Jr. becomes the youngest person ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize. This week in history, brought to you by Jester Talks. Real quick, any comments, questions, concerns?
No.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right, moving on to some other stuff. We're going to talk about this. All right, so this can become a heated topic. I don't think it should, but it could possibly. So India this week, October 12th, as you can see, outlawed marital sex with minors in a bid to protect child brides. So, I'll post a link in this too. Again, I am not a huge fan of. Right, Doc Ward? Nice. Here, I'm not a big fan of CNN as a news source, but I go to them or I go to another opposite of what I view news source, left news source, we'll say leftist, mainly just to see how their take on it. I'll read their take on it, and then if I don't agree with it, then I'm going to I'm going to bring it up. Be crafty. That's part of my point. So, just based off of the title, India outlaws marital sex with minors in a bid to protect fucking outlaw child brides. Maybe. Maybe don't let fucking 40-year-old Habib marry fucking 10-year-old Sharia. Possibly. Maybe let's start there. But that was my first thought. As you read on, it's illegal in India. Only the past, recently, given the age of India. But it's actually illegal in India now to marry children under 15. Oh, thanks. 18. Then why in the fuck do you need to make this law? If you already have a law saying it is illegal to marry minors, then why do you need to make another law to protect them from getting raped from their husbands? Which is actually, if you read the article, is what it is. So they've outlawed it, right? And the, UNICEF, if you read that, UNICEF did a study and all this other stuff. And then you can watch this video on it, but they're saying it's a very toothless law, basically. It doesn't really matter. So, right here, I'll bring your point to this right here. So, but there are fewer taking place now, meaning there are fewer weddings where the brides are underage taking place now. The percentage of women who aged 20 to 24 who were married before 18 dropped from 47% in 2005-2006 to 27% in 2015 and 2016. That's still over a quarter of that age group's population, right? So technically, a quarter of that population, are still being married at under 18. I understand that we have underage marriages in America as well, but it's generally two high school kids fucking running off and getting married. It's not my, best friend is 50 and wants a young girl to marry, so he gives me the best looking goat and chickens in the town, so I give him my daughter. Like, that's not how it works, you know. And I understand that it's like this in India because women are seen as a burden on a household. You know, if I have 3 boys, they can go work. If I have a girl, the best way for her to be useful to me is for me to marry her off. I understand that. Fucking change that way of thinking, maybe. You know, but... So... Oh, no, Crafty, it still happens. There's still plenty of child brides happening. So yeah, so my thing is, I understand that India is trying to do the right thing, and they made, and it actually says, you know, but I understand that they made it illegal to marry a minor, but if it's already illegal to marry a minor, why then just make it also illegal to now have marital sex with your minor bride? This is basically saying it's now illegal to rape your wife if she's underage. I understand that. But obviously, if you have to make this second law, your first law isn't effective. So maybe just beef up the first law and actually make it illegal. If you know a dude just married a fucking 10-year-old, remove the 10-year-old and send the dude to jail. You know, like if you want to enforce, if you're going to make your laws, fucking enforce it. You know, again, running a country, you can equate to having children. If I want my kid to eat dinner, I'm not going to be like, eat your dinner, and then when he doesn't fucking do it, be like, okay, well, instead of eating dinner, here's fucking ice cream. No. All right, you guys. Please tell me your views on this one.
You're not going to...
Remember, I don't want to get banned from Twitch or YouTube.
All right. Here's my whole aspect. All right. Do I believe underage women should be married? No.
Yes.
But if you look at the past 100, 150 years, 200 years of civilization, what was the legal marrying age 200 years ago? You got married when you were, what, 12? Because you were lucky to live past 30 then. We have raised the bar now because of technology, advancements in medicine. We're living longer, everything. That's why we have raised that bar. When it comes to stuff like this, I mean, really, if you're allowing them to marry in the first place, now you're telling it'd be like telling you it's illegal for you to sleep with your wife. The country is allowing it, which personally I think is ridiculous. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't. But how are you going to tell somebody, oh yeah, you can marry a girl that's underage?
Well, no, they're not. Like, it's already illegal. They're just not enforcing it.
Well, then
they made it illegal. Here, let me see. Go ahead, keep talking while I look for it.
You're talking about a country though, Luna, that just recently, like, wasn't it in the 70s, or not even in the 70s, like late 80s, early 90s, abolished the caste system.
No, they still have it.
Oh, they still have it? Okay.
That's what this is right here. So, the company's top court. Where is it? I was reading it.
You know, and I understand that, but it's like I said, you know.
But yeah, they still have the caste system.
If the country's gonna allow it, they're not enforcing it. They're not nothing like that. You know, I don't know. I personally, I think it's retarded. I think it's stupid. It shouldn't be allowed. But I can't take a judge on them, you know, because of the fact that if they're gonna allow it, I mean, who am I to tell people what they can and can't do? And I mean, in our country, it's illegal. That's the way it is. Period. Point blank. You do it, you're going to jail. You're done. That's it. We all know that.
Exactly, and we all have a very westernized way of thinking about it.
Yes,
Sorry, I didn't cut you off, Luna.
You're fine. if our country allowed you to marry a minor and said, well, it's illegal, but we're just not going to do anything about it, then why is it a law? Why is it illegal in the first place? It's redundant to do that.
It's not redundant to do that. It's because if they make it a law, whenever it comes to pen and paper, somebody looking at, that country, hey, let's get a feel for this country just by their laws or some crap like that, then it makes them look really good. The fact that they're not enforcing it,
like saying,
yeah, that's a big law that they should enforce. I'm by no means do I support child rights. That's wrong on multiple levels. But at the end of the day, that's their culture. That's how they've been living for how many hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta think, before Great Britain came and took over India, they were constantly warring with each other and crap, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, and so, like my thing is, one, like, when I think about this, so you're saying, but I understand what you're saying. You're saying, okay, so, 200 years ago, it was very common for people to be married at 12. But that would be my family. That would be, the Jester family, who is really good friends with the Drow of Luna family. And we have 2 kids that are equal or pretty close. And so what it is I have the girl, so you give me a dowry, right? You're going to give me money. You're going to give me, hell, back then, you're going to give me a goat and some chickens, which happens in countries now. And then I'm going to be like, okay, my son is now, or my daughter is now promised to your son. And then, bam, our kids get married. It's not, you're my buddy. We're both fucking, 28, going to fucking the bar or whatever. And then me going, dude, you should totally marry my 10-year-old daughter. That's the difference.
True, I understand that. But there was still, even back then, there was grown men in 30s marrying 12, 13 years old. Yeah. But again, like I said, back then they didn't view it the same way as we view it now because of the fact.
Well, and back then they also did it as a way of taking care of.
Yeah.
People, because a lot of men died quicker than females, and so there was all that stuff.
That's still a thing. We still die way faster than females.
We have to deal with females.
And because we do dumb shit.
It's not death. It's not really death. It's more of an escape. I really hope my wife's not in chat right now. All right. All right, real quick. We're gonna get more into this, I promise, because the what the fuck section is also dealing with India. So let's final thoughts on this. India, get your fucking shit straight. I understand it used to be cultural now, but one, I'm pretty sure you're the most populated country in the world. 40-year-old dudes can go find 40-year-old chicks. There's got to be like fucking feather not dot or dot not feather.com or some shit. Fucking, there's got to be. There's got to be like, I mean, hell, we have farmers friend only or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
Is it farmersonly.com? Like literally, if all you want to do is walk around and pitch shit and put your fucking, get shoulder deep into a cow vagina, there's a place for you to go find someone else that will do that with you as a date. Like, there's got to be somewhere for a 40-year-old Indian dude to find a wife. Just saying. I mean,
hey, don't knock Farmers Only, man. That's where Doc Bar found his wife.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. And if that's true, good on you, Doc. But what I'm just saying that there's shit like that. All right. So, India, get your shit straight. Fuck. All right. Moving on. All right. Rival Palestinian factions announce a reconciliation deal as Gaza crisis bites. All right, so this is from Jerusalem, CNN, and one of their awesome people that are there. So basically, those of you that don't know, just a real quick, you have the Hamas and you have the Fatah. I'm probably pronouncing both of those incorrectly. Don't care. They've been fighting for a really long time. Everyone's been trying to help them. And, you know, I mean, America's always putting our hands in there, and Egypt's putting their hands in there, and all this other stuff. So basically, they have started reconciliation talks in Cairo, and they think that they have probably determined the way to come to an end of the division between the two factions. And it says right here they had no choice but to continue to advance the unity of the Palestinian people. So let's go ahead and I forgot to put this in there. All right. So anyway, there's that. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you are currently in my chat or if you're going to be later, hit that exclamation YouTube. Click on that link. That'll take you to my YouTube channel. This will be on there. Also, if you want to be a guest on Jester Talks, please either whisper me on Twitch right now. If you're watching this on YouTube and you would like to be a guest, my business email will be in the description box below. So please email me on there. Or you can always find me at twitch.tv/Jester2504. And then also, if you're here, you can also join my Discord, and that's what I do all of my... all of it runs through Discord. Okay. So anyway, I think this is cool. I think it's hopefully they can come to, you know, peace in the Middle East is what everyone's always going on about. But for me, I don't care if the two factions want to fight. I just think overall it's better for that area of the world if they can find out some way to like kind of mesh together. I think it's going to fail. I think that this is a really big... No, it's exclamation YT. H. Quinn. Worst mod ever. Worst mod.
Be nice to her.
She's pretty good.
She sleeps next to you.
That's why she's a mod. She gets the sword.
You better hope your neighbor's building that garage big enough for you to sleep in.
She gets the sword because she lets me give her the sword. She's gonna come here and smack the crap out of me.
I'll clip it if she does.
All right. If all of a sudden there's a red flash in my camera, please call the New Plymouth, New Zealand police and have them come to my house.
Can you put their number in chat?
Right? Yeah, there will never be no. And so, for me, it's like
and your address.
Yeah, no, that's no. It's like a, you know, it's a Montague and Capulet type thing. Even if the two political sides do find peace and they can work together, you know, they're basically two giant fucking gangs. Essentially, the people causing the issues, the fighters. And they're just not going to be able to let it go. So, you know, Blood's going to kill a Crip, and then they're going to fucking go to town again. That's really my thoughts on it. I think it's good if they do it. I think it's awesome. You know, but I think that I think that if they do find peace, it won't be lasting. So. Your
Go ahead.
I mean, you know, it just depends on how you look at the situation. It could be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. Hamas and how do you pronounce the other one, Jester?
I did it Fatah, but it's Fatah. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Fatah, close enough for me. They're putting their differences aside. Yeah, that causes a little bit less turmoil over there in that part of the world, especially since, you know, Palestine and Israel have been fighting for how long now?
Yeah.
Ever. And hopefully, you know, like Jester said, it leads to a long-lasting peace over there. But on a negative aspect, it could be, you know, hey, Steve and Dave was like, you know, we could stop fighting each other, and then we could just go put it to these guys over here real hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I look at the negative, though. You just got two small threats that join together to form a moderately large threat.
Two small threats where half of them...
In the grand scale of things.
Let's be honest,
you know
both of them
I mean?
have American-backed weapons. So, there we go.
I mean, you know, I won't tell if you don't tell. That's just like ISIS. They have American-backed weapons. But, you know, we keep... Don't tell.
They're the bad guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Refresh.
I don't know. I mean, my whole thing on it is the fact
No, it's
that,
not me. That's you, lady.
like, if you read the article, basically what it is
What?
Hamas is controlling one side, the other group is controlling the other side. So basically, what we're gonna end up in another Berlin Wall situation.
Real quick, I'm going to interrupt you guys. Great news, everybody, that her computer crapped out, so she heard none of that. Fuck
You
yeah.
lucky. I'll tell her.
So you type exclamation YouTube, right? And the command is exclamation YT.
Luna.
And I was like, worst mod ever. I was like, why do you have a sword? And I was like, let's be honest, she has a sword because she.
It's not going to be a Berlin Wall type situation. If that makes sense. It's always been more of a situation. It's always been more of a situation over there that's more like this. This is coming from a security analyst perspective. Why would I have to live with you peacefully whenever I can just kill you and take what I want? You know?
Yeah, but I mean, basically, what you're doing is you're dividing. You know, you got one side controlling one side of the bank, one side controlling the other side of the bank, and it's going to end up in this. Okay, they're going to have quote unquote peace. Basically, what it's going to be is none of you can come over here and none of you can go over there. It's basically like draw a line in the sand and going, if you cross this line, I'm going to shoot you.
This isn't peace. This is at best a temporary, uneasy ceasefire.
Yeah, well, and
where they're trying to test the waters.
According to the actual
and
deal,
like Jester said, sorry. Yeah, I actually found an article on that. What was the 6 clauses of the deal?
Yeah. I mean, it's not. They're not trying to make it go into effect fully or anything until December. Anyway, December, the new government will take over, the unity government, and stuff like that.
I'm gonna DM you a.
I don't think it's gonna last. If it does, fuck yeah. It's probably not going to though. And so at that point, then what do we do? Because now we form bonds with both sides technically because they're on the unity, and so it's just a shitstorm getting ready to turn into a fucking huge shitstorm, basically the way I view it. All right, let's get your guys' final thoughts, and then we're gonna move on to the what the fuck section.
Actually, I just posted in the Discord, if you could, a link that leads to leak the 6 clauses of the Fatah Hamas deal. And I was going over them a bit earlier. I mean, they're not completely absurd. They've just been a big thing they did was put deadlines on agreements they have reached in the past. You know what I mean?
There you guys go. There's the link if you guys want to go read about the six full clauses, exactly what this deal is, all that fun stuff. All right.
Right.
Luna, what are your final thoughts on this?
It's a bunch of bullshit. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. You're going to end up in a situation where it's basically you're going to have a Red River, and that's going to be it.
Knox? Monty, you're Capulet.
Man, I'm just hoping that this doesn't turn into one of those. I just hope this doesn't blow up into everybody's face. I hope that this can be, just like everybody else, I hope that this can be a long-lasting peace. But like you said,
if
it's
anything,
probably
Egypt's
going to
get
be
fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Egypt's backing both sides of it, so you're getting screwed. Especially if a full-scale war breaks out, Egypt's going to have to be like, I got to pick a side. I got to pick a side. I mean, they can't be like Switzerland and be like, screw you all. No. I mean, try to invade us. We got the Alps. You know?
Yep.
I don't know.
Right,
I just hope it lasts.
We're gonna move into the what the fuck section. Next week this will be retitled WTF, and there will be graphics and stuff. I think we're gonna get more into me doing graphics to come across the screen and stuff once we switch stuff up. That's all coming. Anyway, what the fuck section, since this video is already way demonetized. Fuck yeah. What the fuck? So it goes in lines with what we were just talking about with this, at least with the minor child part. So right here it shows that DNA tests show that the second uncle impregnated an Indian rape victim. She was 10. All right, I will post the link to this if you want to read it. You can. Basically, what it is this little girl was raped when she was 10 years old. The family didn't know or anything, or at least didn't report it to police until she was like 21 or 26 weeks pregnant, something like that. And in India, you have to ask permission to get an abortion. They were told no because it was past the allotted time that India would say yes. Anyway, one uncle was accused of the rape and is currently in trial. He was, the little girl was like, he has done this to me. And then there was also a second uncle that was accused. And then so what happened was the first uncle, I guess, admitted to it, and is currently in trial. And when the baby was born in August, their DNA test was done. DNA did not match the first uncle, so it was tested against the second uncle's DNA, and the second uncle is the father. This is the uncle of the 10-year-old girl. This has a chance to get really heated, so basically, for my two guests, I know that the three of us all probably, most likely, share similar views and definitely really similar vocabulary. So she'd already been, in nearly 21 weeks. So, but here's what gets me is India has a grim record of sexual assaults on minors with 20,000 cases of rape or sexual assaults reported in 2015. And it's
doubled
risen,
more than 50% since 2011.
Yeah, it's risen since 2011. Like, holy crap! Like, India just needs to fucking hand over control of their government to someone else. What's up, honey? Oh. Okay, so my feeling on this is one: both uncles should not be killed. They should be put through the worst torture anyone could possibly imagine for the next 25 years. And then killed. There should be, and that's just how I feel about chimos in general. It should just not be, I'm not. Everyone's like, castrate them, or what is it? What's the one thing in America now? Like they go through this intensive, shock therapy shit. Like they let them look at kitty porn, and then they shock them whenever they get aroused at kitty porn. Like how the fuck does that fix anyone? No, just they stay in jail. They get fucking tortured, Yeah, no. We have so many dudes in jail that are into bondage and that would do that to them. Let them do it. Fuck it. Anyway, that is my viewing. That is the worst form of human in the world, in my view, and deserves zero humane treatment. And that's literally as nice as I can put it. Grizzly, thank you for stopping by, man. All right. Let's go. Knox, Luna, what do you guys feel? Remember, we don't know who's going to view this.
I will try to make it as PC as possible.
Okay.
This whole situation is 9 kinds of screwed up. First of all, like you said, India needs to apparently get their shit together. And me and you we do share similar takes on the whole pedophile thing, but my outlook on it is why keep them in jail? That's going to cost the taxpayers a lot of money. Let's just have your fun with them, then get rid of them. And I know a lot of people frown on that. Like I have the Texas mentality on that. A lot of people want to abolish the death penalty, and I want to put in an express lane.
Oh, yeah. No, express lane for sure. You know what? That's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about the death penalty next week. Hell yeah.
But I don't know. I know it's over there. I know it's embedded in their culture. And like I said, I'm a Westerner looking in on this. And in my opinion, in my westernized opinion, it's 9 kinds of screwed up.
Well, I mean, even in India,
I think that they should have allowed that girl to have the abortion. Yeah, they are going to jail, and that's. But let's be honest, you don't know how jails in India are. That's a baby step in the right direction, yeah, but you don't know how jails are in India. Just like in Mexico, there's gangs that run entire jails. There's gangs that run multiple jails. You know what I mean? Like MS-13 and stuff like that. own prisons in South America.
They
in Mexico.
denied her family's plea for an abortion in July based on the opinions of 8 doctors and an examination of the girl because she was 35 weeks pregnant. So she was basically 8 months pregnant. So that's why. And then it says, under India's Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, the country does not perform abortion beyond the first 20 weeks of pregnancy. I understand that part of it. Abortion is a whole nother view I'm not sure if we need to get into. My view on abortion is generally different than everyone I know. So, which is really weird. But I feel it should be illegal unless it is a pregnancy from rape.
I agree with you on that.
Now, I also feel like if you want to have kids, you should have to have you should fill out an application to have kids. It should be something that you should have to apply for. You should have to prove that, one, you can physically, financially, and mentally take care of kids. Too many people have kids and can't financially take care of them. No. All right, my bad.
Back on topic.
Yep.
You're good.
Rant over.
What? Yeah, rant over. Finito, Jester. You're good. No. But, so whenever I was reading that article, right, one thing that really pissed me off about this whole situation is, did you read where the parents told her that she just had to have surgery for a kidney infection and didn't even tell her that she was pregnant?
Okay, I understand. I mean, she's 10.
I completely understand where they're coming from. I can 110% understand where they're coming from. But, I mean...
First of all, if my daughter is 10 and she was raped by her uncle and she's pregnant, I'm not going to be there to tell her anything because I'm going to be too busy torturing him for the next 25 years before I kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
But
like some law-abiding citizen type shit.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, but I understand telling your daughter, "Hey, what's going on with me? Look, you have a really bad, bad thing in your kidneys. They're gonna have to take, they have to do surgery later, stuff like that." I understand that.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't fault the parents at all.
I completely understand that. 110%. 110%. Completely understand it. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this from the parents' point of view. What's better, telling her now or telling her later? Because she's eventually going to find out. Someone in the family is going to slip up. Secrets don't stay buried.
I don't know, man. Like I have friends that were raised by their mom and dad,
right?
And then never knew until after their parents died or whatever, and then it came out that it was actually their grandparents and their sister was actually their mom.
Right. And I understand
not
situations
like West Virginia
like that.
Type. My sister's my mom thing.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, man. I completely understand what you mean. But I mean, you have to see my point of view from it as well. What would you rather do? Would you rather be traumatized right now while you're young and can hopefully repress that shit so deep that not even the brightest light in the world will ever find it? Or would you rather, hey, you're 27 years old and your aunt's like, oh, you remember that time your uncle raped you?
Yeah.
And then she's like, what did you just say, Auntie? I don't know.
Yeah.
Aunt Mary? What did... And then Aunt Mary, because she's having a little bit too much sambusa or whatever it's called over there. Oh, let me tell you. And goes on to the story, and then,
No, I understand that. I don't know. I think that they could probably... I think I would probably do the same thing. I still think that I would be like, hey, you have this kidney issue, your stomach's going to get really weird. At some point in time, you're going to think that it's moving inside. I don't know what I would do.
I understand that. And like I said, I'm not knocking you for it. But eventually, it's going to come out, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think I would rather that come out as a child where I could help my child address the issues that it's going... Like, if my child gets traumatized like that, I'm going to... Therapy, whatever they need, I'm going to do everything I can to do it. But as an adult, they're a little bit outside.
Like an 18th birthday present or something when they're older. I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking.
I know. But you get what I mean, right? Like, why you're putting that burden on your child later in life? Also, like, if you want to look at it that way, you're putting that burden on your child later in life.
Yeah,
Now
later when they have
she's
the
a grown
mental,
woman.
when they have the mental capability and hopefully the coping mechanisms to deal with it.
But something like that, dude, that is not a, hey, you remember whenever you were 10 and your puppy died? Yeah, I accidentally hit it with
I
my car.
understand that.
That's a, hey, you remember whenever you were 10 and you had that baby that's your son cousin?
True.
You know? Like, that's a little bit bigger. That's not like, oh,
I feel
yeah.
like Luna's being quiet because he's literally having his mic muted, either laughing at us or shaking his head at us.
He's probably doing a little bit of both.
Or
No, I'm honestly sitting here not. This kind of stuff gets to me because
It's fucked up across the board.
yeah,
ended up in a situation with my niece actually, where
you have to clarify that because you're an uncle in that scenario.
yes,
Okay.
but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
exactly.
I'm not the uncle. Let me put it this way: my stepbrother, I actually raised his
Hold
kids because
on. Put
he
shoe
wasn't
on
around.
head if not fake. Not putting my shoe on my head.
Interesting.
But I appreciate you for coming and hanging out. If you have something positive or to actually add to the broadcast, I'm down, dude. Thank you for coming to hang out, though. All right, go ahead, continue, Luna.
Basically, what I was saying is that kind of a similar situation happened.
Pre-recorded, if no shoe on head. Go ahead, Luna, keep going. I'm reading your chat as you're typing.
Where
Impossible.
basically
to
it
do that with
ended up other
pre-recorded.
family members ended up watching her, and later on we found out things had happened. Now, when it comes to the family, what I would really like to know is, they didn't do anything? Like, I mean, I understand, like, they allowed one uncle to get prosecuted, and then finally, they, said, oh, the other uncle's part of it too, and we're going to do something about it, and blah, blah. But in that situation, when we found out about it, it was taken care of immediately. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. It was a call to the cops going, here's where you can find them. They'll be laying in their front yard. Like, that's exactly the way it was. There was no question. There was no nothing. It's completely ridiculous that they're going to go through all of this and not, it really bothers me and it irks me, the fact that the family's going to go, oh, there's nothing wrong, this is what's going on, and everything like that. Like, I understand, you want to protect your children and everything like that, but at the same time, when that child turns 18 or turns old enough and you feel like you're actually going to explain to them what's going on, what happened, this, that, the other, two things are going to happen. Either that child's going to be grateful that you, or that child's going to despise your guts and is going to break down harder than anything you know.
Yeah, understandable. I mean, honestly, I couldn't. Right now, I think that I would hide it. I would completely try to hide it from her. But
And that's completely understandable. That's completely understandable, Jester. Like, that's a... in a way, that's a noble thing for you to do. Yeah. Hey, I want my child's childhood to be exactly that, a childhood. I want to spare her from this. That's completely understandable.
Well, and then on the other hand, I mean, obviously you already are going to have to deal with the fact that she was raped by her two cousins, her two uncles. So, you're going to have to deal with that. Let's do, Irvo has joined Jester's Army. Thank you for that follow and welcome to Jester's Army. I appreciate it. Say some jokes if you're Jester. Well, watch the rest of the broadcast. I've been joking the whole time, actually. Let's do some final thoughts, and then I'm gonna meet you guys again. Then we'll do an after show talk, And then I'm gonna mute you guys while I do my sign off, and then we'll do. Actually, real quick, chat. Other than going over death penalty and going over like what we view the death penalty as, what other topics would you like to see next week? It doesn't have to be necessarily current events. There's some stuff that you know issues in the world or in your country that you would like to talk about. We'll do like one of these a week. We'll pick one chat generated topic, and we will. I want to see shoe on head. I'll tell you what, man. You know what? I am going to be doing. I've been doing this stream for the next 10 minutes. So, what we're gonna do is you come back in 10 minutes when your timeout is over, and then we'll talk about other stuff. Cool. All right, next. We're talking about next. Oh yeah, chat. What would you guys like to talk about next week? One topic. So Doc Bar, B Crafty, H Quinn, hell, Fort Knox, Luna. I don't care.
I don't think this should be something you ask right now. I think it should be something over the week. Like, hey, if you find something interesting, shoot it to me on Twitter. You never know what's going to develop over the week, man.
Well, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be current events. It can just be anything you guys want to talk about. Real quick, what we're going to do, though, is if you do find something that you would like to talk about.
There we go, Doc Bar.
Nice, Doc Bar. All right, if you want to, if you find something you want to talk about, there's my Discord. Click on that link. Go ahead and join. Talk to us in formation chat, and I will actually make a new Discord channel right there. There's going to be it'll be Jester Talks Topics, and that is where you guys can put your ideas for topics for us to talk about. Final thoughts, Fort Knox?
Oh, man. I don't understand why these guys made it to trial.
You remember Marilyn Manson?
Me personally, if it would have happened to my daughter, the next piece of jewelry they got would have been a toe tag.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's screwed up all across the board, and I actually got like really mad reading the article.
Oh yeah, I got pretty heated.
Yeah, I was. I don't. You already know. I stated my stance on that at the beginning of this, or at the beginning of this little section. Strongly against it. I think they should just be taken out somewhere in the woods.
Oh yeah.
And they got tigers in India. I'm just saying, drop them off in some tiger territory and be like, hey, good luck.
All right. No, I mean final thoughts overall over the whole show.
Oh, over the whole show?
Yeah.
Pretty much what I said at the end of each segment, man. I really hope that this peace in Palestine extends past some basic little uneasy ceasefire. I'm glad Tupac and Pearl Jam and all them got into the Hall of Fame. But since Luna brought it up, I'm not very happy about all those awesome bands that got snubbed.
Nope.
See, Jester's getting upset all over again.
Tina Turner's not in there?
And as for should we take care of other countries before we take care of ourselves? No. Like I said, like I was raised, you can't help someone else if you can't help yourself.
Yep.
Awesome. Knox. Fort Knox. Knox for short. Noxy for those of us that get to cuddle. Appreciate it appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being a guest. Would love to have you back.
Anytime, man.
On a future episode. It's great. Like I was telling Luna last week, I really need to get someone that doesn't agree with my views. But the fact that there's so many people that do agree with my views just makes me think I'm right. So I'm good. But I'm going to go ahead and bid you adieu. And I will talk to you in formation chat afterwards, and we'll discuss plans for what we're doing the rest of the night.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, man. Talk to you later. All right, Luna, your final thoughts?
All right. Stop helping people that don't help themselves. As for us helping all these other countries, and yet none of them want to show the same support back. As for the Hall of Fame thing, there's a lot of people that should have been in there that's not, and it really makes me upset. And yeah, I think it's kind of ridiculous, and they need to review how they do things in that. As for what's going on with Hamas and them, again, like I said, it's really just gonna end up being a bloodbath. Like, that's all it's gonna be, because the fact that it's gonna end up just a huge fight like it always has been, or you're gonna end up in a draw a line in the sand. You don't come over this side. It's the same thing that happens over in Ireland still to this day, the Catholics and the Protestants. Still to this day, towns are divided. Catholics on one side, Protestants on the other. You're not allowed to come this side, you're not allowed to come that side, and if you do, you're dead. That's just the way it is. They battled for hundreds of years, and they still do to today, but yet it's not news, because nobody cares. You know, hopefully one day there will be peace and stuff like that, but anytime soon, I don't see it. You know, as far as, you know, the child marriage thing, somebody needs to pull their head out of their ass and figure it out. I mean, if they're just going to continue to allow stupid stuff to happen, even though it's quote unquote against the law, I mean, come on, that's just ridiculous to me.
Yeah. I got you, man. Again, thank you for being a guest. For those of you who don't know, Luna actually has expressed a desire to be my co-host in this. So he'll be here. He'll be joining us more than likely every week. On the weeks where I change the time, where we don't do it at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, it might change. Hell, it might change when I start working at my job. But we're going to try to do this. I'm going to still try to make this a weekly thing. I'm also going to try to start doing some stuff on a different channel. I belong to an amazing group of people, an amazing group of content creators, or creators in general. And I'm going to try to work something up as far as maybe like a creative podcast where I have me and probably 2 to 3 other guests. And we just discuss, like, you know, what's going on in the world of games. What's the next big thing for, you know, Be Crafty. She does crochet and makes these awesome little mini crossbows. You know, like, what's the next big thing that she thinks is going to be for, you know, the crochet world. You know, is someone going to crochet like a, you know, I don't know. First of all, Crafty, I want a blanket. But anyway, Luna, thank you for hanging out. You're always awesome. Super psyched to try to get you on here every week as a co-host. Not super psyched that I'm going to have to change some of the graphics, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. No, you keep it the same. This is your show. I'm just your co-host.
I'm going to add, you know, with or featuring or something like that.
Yeah.
But and then if my ugly face has to be on cam, so does yours. So we'll figure this out.
That'd be fun.
All right, guys. I'll join you, and as soon as I do my sign off with Fort Knox, I'm going to move you up there now, and I'll talk to you later, dude.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's go ahead and let's do my final thoughts. First of all, India, get your shit together. Fuck. Like, holy crap. Second of all, holy shit, Whitney Houston isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Granted, I'm one of those people that on Facebook, on the anniversary of death posted, you know, congratulations to Whitney Houston for being, you know, sober for 4 years or whatever. Like, I do that.
No, I do
that because I'm funny. Why are you guys in Jester Talks? Why are you in Jester Talks? We're moving you back up there. There we go. All right. Anyway, I do that. You know, but holy fuck. She's literally the best female recording artist in the history of the world. And she's not in there. I mean, damn, she has a song. She co-starred with Kevin Costner. Right there, that alone should get her in there. Anyway, India, get your shit together. For sure, take control of your, take care of you, of your stuff before you do outside people, for sure. It's not letting me reply. Same thing. New Zealand, America, Australia. I don't care. Cambodia. Take care of those within your borders first. America, you want to help other people, no problem. No problem. Take care of other people, but first, get things in place to take care of your hungry in your country, the homeless in your country, the homeless vets in your country. Better the lives of your first responders, your policemen, your firemen. Take care of the people that take care of you. Make sure they're taken care of first. Make sure your citizens are taken care of. Then, if you want to go help fucking Egypt or Africa or fucking Somalia or any other country, that's fine. But as a nation, take care of your nation. All right. Thank you all for hanging out. I love you all. I just want to thank you all for hanging out and watching these first few videos. I know the first couple were kind of rough, and hopefully it keeps getting better. I'm getting better at video editing and adding things. And your guys' comments and questions always do help. So by all means, please keep those coming. And if you want to be a guest, just DM me on Twitter at thejester2504 or just hit me up in the comment section. Thank you all.
You love me! You really love me!